So sal nichse yishto. Right, woman brings properties into a marriage, what we call nichse maluk. He gets all the profits, right? But the property belongs to the woman because you have to guarantee the principal should remain intact. So he goes and he has capital improvements or he invests in the property. Hotzi harbe vochel kimo. Let's say his investment was greater and he took out a pittance. Kimo means a small amount. Kimo vochel harbe. This is when he's married to her. He invested a small amount, but his return was phenomenal. Was great. Masha hotzi hotzi meshochel ochel. If he divorces her, it's what? You go your way, she goes her way. There's no financial obligation on either side. Right? You have it? Avol hotzi v'loacha. What about he invested in the property and he had no return at all? Didn't have return. Yishba, yishava, kama hotzi v'ito. Now, he swears how much did he invest and he gets back. Well, that's only if the property, let's say he puts a capital improvement and it didn't improve the property. She owes him nothing. What does she owe him? What she should give him, reimburse him for his investment? If he took nothing out of the property, okay, right, and the property has greater value, so then he could say to her, you know something, Chazal say, you have to give him back at least minimally what it proved, because you have that value. So therefore he swears, and afterwards you evaluate what it was worth before, what it's worth now, and you give him back what his investment was. Not the spread, the investment. Masha Hotzi. He gets right away. He spoke to his accountant recently. The spread, all this lingo, this financial lingo.
The 20th century.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Okay. So he gets back to, but let's say he took anything out. Let's say there was a capital improvement, and he put in $10,000, and he had a return of 100. He gets nothing. Once the marriage ends, he goes his way. She retains everything. Okay. The kama kimo, it says he has to take, what is a kimo? There's a certain minimal amount he has to get out of the property. Omer Ravasi grogris achas, even as much as one fig. One fig, you already received something. Then he gets nothing. Let's say he didn't even get that much. Then she has to pay him. If actually the property has greater value, he swears and he gets back the value of whatever that was. But it has to be something which was a fig, but that's only if it's derech kavod. It has to be something which it's valued as something. Mm-hmm. Let's say he got a batch of rotten figs. It's not derech kavod. What is it? That's called nothing. He got nothing. It has to be something which, even though it's minuscule, but it's derech kavod. Omer Rababa, Omer Abri Beirav, Afilu Shigra de Tamri. That even pressed figs, that pressed, even that. Boy Rabibi. Chuvtza de Tamri Mai. What about what he got was Chuvtza de Tamri? He explains he went and he crushed, and it's the sediment that's left from the beer. From the beer. Right? Does that is that called kibo, or that's less than kibo? Teku. It's unresolved. So it's unresolved. It's most chavil of araya. So he gets nothing. She says, take the sediment and go walk with the sediment or pay. Lo ochlo derech kavod. What about if what was left wasn't derech kavod, right? It wasn't something which is considered valued by people. Then how much does he have to get to be considered that he received something? Amarula pligibo trei amoroi de marovo. The two amoroim in Eretz Yisrael, they argue this point. If it's low derech kavod, what's the minimal that it's considered he took something, he had a return on his investment in the field? Charoma b'chiser. That if the value of the produce is an iser, a coin, that's considered even shlo derech kavod, that's sufficient. That means you receive the return on your investment. Charoma b'dinar has to be worth a dinar. A dinar is worth much, is what? More. Omer daini de pumbediso. Amri, he said daini de pumbediso. So Rashi Huda daini pumbediso quotes the Gemara Sanhedrin. Rega, yeah. Rav Papa bar Shmuel per kamam. Rav Papa bar Shmuel, he's called daini de pumbediso. Amri, daini pumbediso ovad Rav Yehuda uvda b'chavilu zemoris. Here, what happened? Now, if you remember the Gemara Kedushin, twigs, that's elephants eat twigs. So he was able to take out of the field twigs. Is that called ochel kimo? There were capital investments. He took out a bale of twigs that you could feed to an elephant. is that called produce? Is that called produce of the field, although it's not for human consumption? It's for animal consumption. Listen to the story. Avad Rav Yehuda uvda b'chavilas mos, Rav Yehuda l'tamei, and he says that was sufficient. That's considered you received a return on your investment. The Omer Rav Yehuda ochlo orlo. Here, Rav Yehuda says, well, now what's the halacha? If a person occupies a piece of property for 3 years, and then the original owner comes and says, "Where's your document?" Even if he doesn't have a shtar, if he didn't protest the occupation for 3 years, that's called chazaka. Now, how does he have to occupy the field? He has to occupy the field as an owner. So let's say one of the 3 years was Orlo, and he was reaping the fruit he couldn't eat. So if you're there 3 years where you actually reap all the benefits, okay. An owner can't tolerate to see it, so therefore not protesting is a proof that the occupier is what he's the owner. But what about, it was 3 years, the 3 years he was there, he couldn't eat the fruits. But you know what he did? But the twigs of the tree, you permitted it, it's mutter. See, but what is really the fruit of the tree? What's really benefiting? Is that bailus? Is that sufficient bailus? Rav Yehuda holds that's sufficient bailus. If you take whatever you can, so that's Rav Yehuda l'tamei. See, therefore, Rav Yehuda l'tamei, the Rav Yehuda, ochlo, orlo, shviyas u'kalayim. Right, let's say during shviyas is what? The produce is only hefker. What about the twigs? The twigs not a hefker. When person comes in the field, picks fruit, he says, I'll cut off the branch with the fruit. You can't do that. Because the branch belongs to the one who owns the tree. Can't cut off the branch. Right? The kalayim, hareza chazoka. Let's say it's kilayim. Again, kilayim, what's also by kilayim? That's only the fruit. So he says, Rav Yehuda l'tamei. So taking the chavilas moros, which is only for the elephant, factually, that's called produce. That's the produce. That's acting as an owner. Therefore, that's called ochel kimor. That would be called kimor. I mean, it's not kimor. It's what's his name? It's not kovod. Kovod means something which is respect for a person, but it's considered. Let's say it's worth a dinar or it's worth an iser. That's sufficient. Therefore, you don't get any return on your money. You've already received your return on your investment. So even though the capital improvement improved the value tremendously, you took that. The day's over. You take it and go. You had a return. Omer Rav Yaakov bar Omer Rav Chisda hamotzi otzos al nisa yishto ketano. Yet she's a minor. Now it's interesting. Now if he's married to a ketana, we're speaking about a ketana who's a yisoma chayav or yisoma. So the marriage is only rabbinical marriage, right? A rabbinical marriage. What's happened? She's memayin. She walks out on him, right? So retroactively, she was never married. She was never married to him. This guy, he thinks to himself, I can make capital improvements. She may walk on at Bishlo. She's married. She's his wife. She can't walk out on him. Why? Because he has to give her a get. He doesn't give her a get. He's in control. But if she could walk on him any day, what, he's going to put a capital improvement and he'll end up with nothing? So you know something? The man's not going to make capital improvements. So now the question is, do we say now, what's the halacha if I go without permission and I go and plant somebody else's field? That's called the Yorish Lobrishus, right? You have a field, you normally have planted wheat, and I want to get the job. So you know what I do? I go, one night, I go and plow, see the field, and I send you a bill. You have to pay the bill. What I did to the field was, you would have hired someone else. I preempted you, and I gave you the service, right? The halacha is, Yorish Lobrishus, you have to pay the man. Why? Because factually, you would have hired someone. You benefited. You benefited from the service. The labor, the field is the end product. It's not he did a deficient job. He did the same thing. You don't pay him the high part of the market, but minimally, whatever you pay for, we'll see, even minimum the expense. Minimum the expense. So now the question is, when he goes and he makes the capital improvement in her property, do you look at her as a wife? See, if you look at his wife, he gets a little bit out of the field, it's over. What about it? You look at it like he's a yored. So he'll get more. Not all. He'll get a fee. He'll get a fee minimally the expense. He'll get a fee for the labor, for whatever else. If it's a regular face. But here, because since she could walk on him at any minute, the marriage could be as if it never existed. So we see it's kindichsi acher. That's what he says. Al this say ishto ketana. Kamotzi al dichsi acher domi my time. Of the Rabban, so Mor says no. My time of the Rabban takanto keech lo lipsedinu. Here, why did the Chachomim say? 1 second. 1 second. Well, over reviewed of the 1 second. Rega, 1 second, over here. You saw what she sees, yeah? Shemotzi al nixi achav, miano, shomado shevach sheshbiach menotu ki mishpera risi amedina. If she walks out, he gets like an oris, right? What does a sharecropper get in this field, okay? Over Rabbanan hach, takanto, the shomado ka oris. Because you know something, even though you know something, you give him more than that. Why? Even though factually she didn't walk out on him. You know why? Because if he feels that he's in a precarious state, you know what it's going to be? He's not investing a penny in the field. He's going to milk the field for whatever it has. So he'll destroy the property. So the Chacham made a special takon in this particular situation that he has to get as an oris. So if he's guaranteed he's going to get not only his investment, but plus profits, he gets a percentage of the profits, it's guaranteed he's not going to destroy the field. Because the husband always feels he's walking on thin ice. He's going to invest. What is he, out of his mind? His whole investment may be worthless. As a result of it, you know what to do? He's going to milk the property. Okay? So now that you give him like an oris, Sulam Mafsidlu, Meimeroma, Shema lo Tamayin. Shema lo Tamayin. In Tamayin, Harieto Shvochi, Lefiomoli. Therefore, he's covered. Therefore, he'll act responsibly to the field. It's unbelievable. The Chazal take everything into account, you know? You know, it's like, yeah, sure. Everything. Okay? Now, Hayitza de Nofla Arba Meozuzi. Listen to the story. A woman, she gets $400 in inheritance after she's married. So it's Nichse Meluk. It's cash. Ki Bechuzoi, and it's in a faraway community. Right? 1,000 miles. So she has to get the money. The husband figures he's going to travel there, and he's going to get the money. Right? Ozel Gavro, Apik Shis Meo, yeah? I see Arba Mea Badei. The Kosi, what happened? He went, it cost him $600 to go there. The expenses were more than the actual year. So what? And he brought back the $400. So normally we say he could collect his expenses, minimally, right? So if he could, normally say he could collect his expenses, so you should get the whole 400. So, and he took one zuz of the 400. So the investment to get the 400 was 600, right? Now, and he took, so if he didn't take one, he took nothing, so then he gets his expenses, right? But since he took one, that means maybe you shouldn't get anything, right? It's like investing in a field. I invested in in the wife's field, and then afterwards he divorces her, and he had what he got a dollar out of the proceeds of the field. That's all, which is less than a fraction of his investment. You say goodbye, Charlie. He divorced it, it's over. This man, she inherited 400. He invested 600 to go collect the 400. You know, and tell you a story in a minute. And then afterwards, that kind of thinking. And then afterwards, on the way back, he needed $1. So he took $1 out of that 400, and then he divorces his wife. Is he compensated? So what did that $400 cost him? It was a $600 investment. So we said, if he didn't take anything, what does he get? He's entitled to his investment, or up to it, up to. So good, he can't cover the full 600. He takes the 400, but he took $1 before he divorced her. See, so therefore he took. So he had a return. So that's the question. Does the rest go to her? Yeah. It's Ozil Kami de Rebami. Listen to the story. The story was, this is the story. Years ago, there was a certain person. He was asked, you know, years ago, furniture, every house, you had a desk that had a glass top. You have a night table at it. Everything was covered by glass to protect the wood. So this person, he had to straighten out a nail on the a piece of wood. So what is it? He only sees the wood and the nail, but he doesn't realize there's a piece of glass underneath. And he goes and he hammers the nail on the wood, shatters the whole thing. So his parents said to him, "Are you out of your mind? You couldn't find, didn't you realize?" He said, "Well, I only saw the nail on the wood, I didn't see the glass." You understand? He sees, I need the 400, but it's cost you 600. Are you out of your mind? You know? What kind of business you man? Business means you sell. But the question is, what do you get back for the sell? What does it cost you to sell? And so, interesting. Yeah. So Oslo Kami de Ramami. So they came to Rabbi Eskashayla, right? Does the guy get the 400 or because he took? That's Ochel Kima. Omar le mashotzi hotzi mashochel ochel. Yeah, that's over. Forget it. He has Omru le Rabbono Rabami. Listen to this. Hani milechet kochel peri. Payroll. If it's profits, not principles, one thing. Hokarna kochel, right? He's actually, that's the principle. He was supposed to take that money and invest it, right? This is the principle, right? Votsohi, excuse Aleph, 1 second. Votsohi, imkain havale hotzi v'lo ochal. So what is it? It's hotzo. V'hokarna kochel, votsohi. So therefore it's an expense, right? Imkain havale hotzi v'lo ochal. Yishavakam hotzi v'yitos. If he could prove by swearing how much he actually spent, that he takes it. That he does take it. No, which means taking the dollar means nothing. Because it's karna. So what does he have to do? So it's expenditure. It's like I invested in the money. It's like investing in the land. And what? I got nothing for the investment. That's not called the return. Return means it's the pay risk where the Karen is intact. How does he prove what he put into the property? He has to just swear it cost him $600. Then he'll get the 400. It's like the property. Yishava kama hotzivito. Listen to the story over here. It says with the shevach, the capital improvement is the equivalent of the expense. No, we'll see. Gemara says Lahil said no, which means like this. Let's say a person puts $10,000 into a field. And the capital improvement is 300. Does he get? And the field is 50,000. He takes $10,000 out of the field? Of course not. It's only the capital improvement is worth what the expense was. But even though the field is worth another $300, another $1,000. But to improve it 1,000 cost him 10. What are you going to give him $10,000 back? Of course not, right? Because then you're giving him back from the principal, from her principal. It's the capital improvement versus the investment, right? Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Which created, right? Exactly, right. Right, correct. Somewhere says lahil. So on by shim hoyer shevach yoser al hotzo, noto lotzo below shvur. So he wants to say, you know what it means. But what about if the shevach is greater than the investment? There, we'll let him take. No, then we'll let him take. No. We'll let him take. No, so even without swearing, because he's asking for less. He doesn't see. The Gemara says, "Omalei Rava." So Rava says, "Imkain osla rume." The guy's a smart guy. The guy's a liar. You know what else? He'll always figure out what the improvement is, and he put in nothing, and he says, son, I put up in a little less than what the shevach is. He doesn't have to swear, so he'll be shysting her like without a problem. What about if the expenditure was greater than the improvement? Elo hotzo. Has nothing to do with shvur. He only gets hotzo. Right? It's poshut, right? Because of course, just because the field is worth more, you can't take from the Karen. No. Elo hotzo. No, of course it's only hotzo. Yeah, it's understood because the hotzo is yiser ala shevach, right? The expenditure is greater than the improvement. So what do you take out? Only the hotzo. Elo hotzo shir shevach. What's elo hotzo shir shevach? What about its shir shevach? Ubishvur. Shim hoiso hotzo yiser ala shevach. Elo hotzo. Shir Shevach. But if it's the equivalent, Ubishua. So why don't we ask the same question? Why don't we ask the same question? How do you trust him? Maybe it was the equivalent. No, but why don't you have the rule maker? Right, but how do... Wait a second. Let me ask a question. Let's say the field improved $5,000. No. And we're saying, Hotzo Shir, it says, if it's Hotzo is Yisera. Wait, Hotzo Yisera Shevach. Let's say the capital improvement, the field improved $1,000. Wait a second, but you have the same question of Urimi Kumarin. No, I'll tell you. Let's say it improved 5,000. He says, I put in 10,000. That's all he takes, the 5,000. The guy didn't put in a nickel. The same thing. He'll always lie. He'll say more to get it without a shvur. Just as you said before. He wanted to say before that what if the profit is greater than the investment, he doesn't have to swear. So he says he'll always say it's less. That's what Rabbi said Tabai. So he says, you know what? If the investment is greater than the shevach, then you don't have to swear. So you got man will always say it's more. The same thing. I mean, you have the same issue over here. Why isn't it the same issue? Right? But if it's the equivalent, that's when you have to swear. No, it says nobody swears. Elo merova. Had Rabbi Yosef lachmuri alayos lo mashim yitzi yiseir ala shevach shishbicha lo aminon yito koma shehotzi elo min hayitzio yachziru lo shir hashevach ubishvua sheshbuch shkachotzi. No, but so what's afterwards? Well, you say what? Shem hoyso tzoi shevach ein lo elo hutzo shir shevach. No, one said. Ein lo ela hotzo shir shevach. Wait a second. But if it's the shir shevach ubishvua, that goes together.
No. Ein lo ela hotzah. Shir shevach ubishvua. Hotzah cannot be greater.
I understand that. So it's always a shvua. Oh, sure. Okay, because if you can read it, this way. Shem hoyso tzoi yisera shevach ein lo ela hotzo shir shevach. But if it's the equivalent ubishvua, no. But it's not possible. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, no. You always have to swear. No. Let's say the expenditure was greater. Oh, I understand that, of course. Not a cap on the... Yeah. But do you have to swear to get that? You always have to swear. Yeah, otherwise, that's what I'm saying. Otherwise, you always have to claim Rumi Kamarim. Same trick. He played the same trick. Iboilu. Baal showed our recent tachtim. Yeah, the guy's a smart guy. When he has to break his back, he brings our reason into the field. So normally an oris gets what? He gets a percentage, whatever the percentage is. So let's say he brought our reason, and then afterwards he got a fig out of the field, and then he divorced her. Does he have a right to? Did our reason have a claim? You owe us you have to give us a percentage, because we were our reason. Or we say no, we represented the husband. She says you represented the husband. So he already got it. You guys get nothing, right? He hired you. So that's the question. Iboilu. What's the question? Baal shor recent tachtim ma adaited the Baal nochis. Istalik Baal istalikudu. Meaning, when they got into the field, they know we're working for him. Has nothing to do with the woman. The woman says, look, no, but she has the Keren. There's capital improvements because of it. So that's the question. That's the question. So if they're working for him, you're out of the picture. All you guys are gone. When they went in, they're working to get a percentage of the land in the profits of the land. So if that's the case, you got to pay them. You got to pay him a wage. She has to pay the wage, even if she's divorced. So Rashi explains. The question is, what is that? Hu ichnisam v'lo hi. V'chistalik bal istalk inu v'lo shaki midi ki dinei mashotzi hotzi mashoch halocha larisika im lo horidom habal hoitzi himorida. If the husband wouldn't have, let's say the husband he has two left hands, right? He has two. Guy can't do anything with the field. So what she herself would have put Aris in the field herself, right? So he says so. Im hulo horidom habal hoitzi himorida. So as a result of that, therefore, she's bound to the Oris. Yeah. No, they took over. He says they're doing whatever they do as a regular sharecropper. Whatever it is, doesn't make a difference. But still, Now, at the end of the day, by the time the harvest is ready to be taken, he divorces her. So she says to them, you know something, I'm locking you guys out. You're getting nothing. You worked for him. Since he got some benefit, as he's out of the picture, you people, I have nothing to do with you people. I didn't hire you. He hired you. Right? So, doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make it, but it's no different than him. You're working for him. It's between you and him. And he has no claim on this field. There's no claim on this field. Right? No, he doesn't have. No, after they divorce, it's ochal, if he eats even a pittance. Once they divorce, even though his investment was greater than his return, doesn't make a difference. He's out of the picture. That's the Mishnah. Okay? Right? Why is this a different person goes and he plants a field without the knowledge of the owner? Right? Shomen lo, you make an evaluation of Yodol al-Tachtona. Right? Meaning, if let's say the expenses are more than the profits, so the worker has his hand is the lower hand. But if there's any way he could be paid, he gets paid. So see over there, it's shlo b'reshus. So why here should the oris be any worse than over here? She says, well, I didn't hire you guys. So what? But facts, I worked your field. So he says, there's a big difference. Here, this was my husband's responsibility. Here, I would have had to hire somebody in either case. It's okay. It's not Reuven, it's Shimon. Here, the husband should have. This is between you and my husband. I have nothing to do with you people. I mean, the Rishonim explained, the Shidduch Betzis explains in Daf Metzora, there's an Anand Sadi, we could say with certainty, that the field had to be worked. You needed the labor, you needed the seed. Okay, so it's not you, it's him. But it's something I'm willing to pay for. Here she never was willing to pay a penny. This is the husband's area. That's his responsibility. That's the difference. Hosam like the Torah. Therefore, that's her mindset, the owner of the field. Here she says, here I have somebody to Torah, my husband. What does that have to do with me? Yeah, but he was ochel kimo. Because he gets the payros. He has the payros. Yeah. But I'm saying, I understand that. By the time it was time to take the payros, he ate one fig, and now he gave it a divorce. Let's say there wouldn't be Yored involved, right? He could have put a fortune into the field. He goes with nothing. So good. So she says to them, good. That's exactly what we're saying. That's what mechalik. Yored shlo b'reshus. It's your responsibility. You would have done it yourself. Good. The person preempted you. Good. It's poshut. Some more wants to my habialo. Now with the sharecropper, with the husband, would she have been agreeable to it or not been agreeable? Is it him or is it the land? That's the question. Omar Rafuna Brady B'Shua Chazinin Ibal Oris, who is talikli bal is taliklu. Let's say the husband himself is a sharecropper. He's a sharecropper. So therefore, she didn't need these guys. The husband wanted to make it easy himself, so he hired these sharecroppers. Ibalav or asu. So what about if the husband's not? So she understands the only way the field can be really taken care of. So therefore, she wants the field to be worked. As a result of it, then she has the responsibility. Okay? Rashi explains it well. Because she says, look, I wasn't worried. The land will be taken care of. Because you're capable. You know exactly the malach of arisus, of sharecropping. Right? He's one of the wetbacks who came across. I'm not sure, California. Okay? They're wetbacks. They fly first class. And they build the government for bringing them in. Okay. Okay. Iboilu. Baal shemocha karka leperos. Hear this. The husband's nichsei maluk. The field belongs to the husband, to the wife. He sells the fruit rights to a third party. Right? Listen. Mi amina and my dekoni akni. Look, what I have a right to, I have a right to pass on. Right? You're okay with it, Howard? Yeah. Right? I'm selling my right. I have a right to eat fruits. I'm selling that right. Why? Mishum revach beisa. You know why? Because when he has the fruits, there's more food in the house. There's more cash for the family. But if he's selling it off, you're leaving the family high and dry, then you have no rights to the fruits. Because she has a benefit. But to sell it off, right? Let's say you want to gift it to a third party, right? What does the family have? Family's held high and dry. Yehuda bar maramreim b'shmei masha osa osui. Here, whatever was done, it's a sale. He has the rights to the fruits. He sold them off. They're gone. As long as he's married to her, that's his right.
Oh, and she can reclaim it.
No, what kind of reclaim? What kind of reclaim?
If he dies.
Not die.
Wait a minute.
He can only sell what he has.
Right. And if he dies, does that pay?
Nobody died yet.
But he had a right.
You can't sell anything you don't own. Could you sell?
The answer is no, he can't.
Okay, but that's not what we're discussing. It says, my dekoni akni. What do the words mean? Turn the page back. Say what the words say. Why could he sell it? My dekoni akni. What you've acquired, you could sell.
So he has the right to the payroll, so he's allowed to sell it.
You can only sell what you have. If he's not married to her any longer, let's say he divorces her. The person who bought what? Those yields are not going to be the buyers. Because you can only sell what's rightfully yours. She's not reclaiming it. It's not reclaiming. It's hers.
Right.
After said it's not called a reclaim. You have time sharing. Now it's your time to use the apartment. You're reclaiming. It's your time. Right? That's not called reclaiming something. When you steal something, I'm reclaiming what you have. You have what's mine. This is it. What's yours, you sell. What's not yours, you can't sell. It's like the spread. You got it? No, it is, though, because they hold it's not for Rav Chabesa. It's not Rav Chabesa. No, he says, because he holds it's not Bishum Rav Chabesa. It's not Bishum Rav Chabesa. The Takona was not Rav Chabesa. He has the rights finished. The family's going to be left high and dry. They're high and dry, finished. He has the right to sell, he's right. Rav Popi, Bishmei the Rav, also Veloklum. So evidently it's because the family's being denied. It's only, but you have more, the family has more. But if you sell it off, they have less. What's the benefit to family? That if the husband has more, he'll be more generous to the family. No, he should have one. At least it should be available. What do you want? Let's see. Afterwards, he takes the fruits, he destroys them. What, he's a mazik? No, because to sell it off, you can't. That means when the fruits come into existence, they're not available to the family. Therefore, you cannot sell it. No. That's the reason why by dekoni, because that's my dekoni. It's only within the takona. But since the takona was Rav Chabesa, so therefore it has to have that element. Does not have that element? Yeah. A person I invite you to eat in my house, and you fill up a bag and take it off. You sell it on the street. Did I give you the food to fill a bag and sell it on the street? I didn't give it to you for that. Sounds familiar, Howard? Okay. I mean the people who you invite to your house. Those are the kind of guests he has. Okay. So, by my son's, my mechutin, he works for the OU. He's head of Shechita for the whole OU internationally. So he told me, I remember, he knows a lot. So he told me that, the minig, we have weddings years ago, going back 200, they had weddings in homes. Person got married in the house. And they invite everybody to come to the house. So then afterwards they stopped it. You never hear a wedding in a house. It's in a hall, it's there. Why? They stopped it because people used to come, and at the end of the wedding, there were no dishes, there was no silverware. They walked away with everything. That's the reason why the minute people don't get married in a house. You have a Shevrach, you only invite the closest. But weddings, you invited the poor. You invited everybody came to weddings. Right? Some people till today still have a minhag. They have a table for poor people. That they come and, they eat by weddings for that reason. So they invited the poor. So poor people, when they're there, they can't help themselves. So they walked off with the house. 100%. In America, it's much less. In America, it's less. Years ago, it was much worse. Against their clientele. The clientele. Okay? Omra Papa. Yeah. He says, so Rav Papa says, So Omer of Papa, Hod Yehuda bar Marema. Yehuda bar Marema said what? It is good. Mash also Yosui. Love the fair shit more. He never said that explicitly. That was deduced from something he said. What was Elo of Mechloli? Listen to the story. Hayitzod Ailo Legabra Tati Amos. We learned in the fifth parak, a woman, she gets married, she brings slaves into the marriage. So the more slaves she brings, the less she has to do. Okay? Listen what kind of chutzpah this husband had. 2 maidservants, Kananim. Like, chattel. Ozel Gavro, so her husband goes, Nosiv Yitzachriti, marries another wife. Ayu lo chad minayu, and took one of the 2 slaves. He says, now you're going to work for my other wife. Hear this. This wife is ready to plot. Wife A. Also, she came to Rava. She was screaming, here, it's my 2 slaves. He's taking one of my slave women, giving it to my co-wife. Lo ashkach, but he didn't pay attention to her. Man d'chozer sovar. So, had it people and said, why did Rava ignore her? Bishum the sovar masha osui. As masha konakni. Look, he has the rights to usage of the slave. He does what he wants. So, it's no worse than selling to a stranger. I'll give it to my other wife. My other wife. She should accommodate my other wife. V'loi mishum rav charabeso. The reason is because, what was the reason why the sale should not be, so the household should benefit? So since the other slave is working in the house anyway, so even though she's working for the other wife, who's she accommodating? She's accommodating the house. It's the household. The household. So you still have 2 slave women working in the household. Therefore, the reason why it shouldn't be, it doesn't have relevance to this case. So it was a misinterpretation. It was a misinterpretation. And here the house has the benefit. That's the reason why he could do what he did. That's why the wife had no claim against the husband. No, he's not saying, there's no proof from here. The Gemara wanted to say that he originally deduced that. It's wrong. No. Rava, in regard to the Masha Osu, in this case, because there's Reva Besu, but he said, Yehuda bar Merema said name of Rava. He said name of Rava. That was deduced. Rava never said that. Rava said you can't take the fruit seller off to a third party because the family is denied. The case where Rava ruled where he ignored the woman is because the house had the same benefit. Right, it's not. Because she was working in the house. Right. That's the right of the husband. Good. No, but let's say she would take that slave and sell it to a third party. The labor of the slave to a third party. That was our question. Could you do it or can't you do it? Because the household is being denied. It's being... No, he can't do it. His sale is not a valid sale. He was never given the rights of the produce of the slave, the labor, if the household cannot benefit from that labor. So here, what was the story of Rava? Rava ruled because here the household was still benefiting. Because the slave was working for the other wife, but they're living in the same house. So therefore it's not a problem. Howard, you with us? Okay. So, but what's the... What? She had the problem. It was a temperamental issue here. Correct? So what's the halacha? Correct. Behil semai. So what's the halacha? Baal shemocha karka peiros lo asav lo klum. That's the halacha. It's not. My timer. 1 second. So the two reasons. My timer. Abayom achashinu shem etachsif. Because as a result of that, what would it mean? Because the third party is not going to take care of the field. The field will be diminished, Rashi says. Where is it? Tarsif. Hasodeh shlo yoch shlo keach lezavel l'taiva l'mochad nifka minayu shenaguf sheli. What happens if tomorrow the man divorces his wife? I only have it as long as he's married. You know something? I'm going to milk it for all it has. See, he'll destroy the field. That's the reason. See, he's not saying because Rav Chorabesa. A new concept. 1 second. Shemetachsif, Rava Mishum Revach Besa. Because the reason why, as we said before, because the household is being denied. Now, what's the halachic difference between the two of them? If the field is close to the town where she lives, she's always going to make sure if she sees any abuse, they'll step in right away and stop it. So therefore, in that case, if that's the reason, the sale is a sale. Because She can oversee. It's not way out somewhere else. Inami bal orisu. If the bal is the oris, 1 second, oris, rega. Kloma shenosin lokeach peres muzumonim. He sold it, but the bal works for the guy. He sold it off to a third party, the fruits. But who's working the field? He's working the field. So if that's the case, he'll take care of it. So there's no concern, right? Inami zuzi koovid bu isko. Shabal os schora b'mos shishkibel min alokeach u'mistak alev ikarevach beisa. It's not like take the money and he's going to Atlantic City. He's investing it. So there's revach beisa. He's going to have profits. The whole idea is by selling it off, what's going to be with the family. So what are we talking about? He'll invest it, there'll be a return. It does not be the fruits. As long as there's a profit coming in, there's a benefit. But if he's going to buy himself a suit, buy himself jewelry, buy who knows what, it's gone. So what's going to be with the family? Now what about you have a woman, her husband died, the Yavim didn't do Yibam yet. All of a sudden she gets an inheritance. What rights does the husband have? Do we see her as a married woman? Because she can't marry until he releases her. Right? She could sell her off. This is l'chatchila. She's better than Mukudesh. We said before by Mukudesh she shouldn't, but if she sold it, it's valid. Right? If she inherits after she's married, right? Yeah. But by selling it now, unless he does Yibam now, he's out. He doesn't get produce. She preempted him by getting rid of the property, right? Mesa. Now, what happens if she dies? Yeah, she can't sell it. She can't sell it. Correct. The principal is hers, but the produce is the husband's. Exactly. What about Mesa? What happens? She dies. Now she had a ksuba from the first husband. A ksuba. Who gets that ksuba? Does it go to her family, or does it go to? Does the oven take it? The oven take it. Yeah, what is that? That's nichse melug. She has nichse melug. Beishami omrim yachluku rioshi abal yoshiav. They both have. They split. Okay, her heirs and the Yavim's heirs, they split. Beisil omrim nechos b'cheskoson uksubosa b'cheskos yoshei habal. Nechos b'cheskos. You say imo b'cheskos yoshiav. Nichse melug. Who owns the principal? Principal goes to her family because the principal is always hers. The ksuba, that's a lien. It's a lien on the husband's property. So because now she's not here, there's a lien to the property. His family takes the property. Hiniach ochiv mos. Let's say the brother left money. The deceased. The deceased left money. This is pre-yibum. Yilokach bem karka v'ochel peris. Hiniach ochiv mos yilokach bem karka v'ochel peris. This is the Yavim. He's Yavim. It's not. If he did Yibum, he's the heir. If he did Yibum, he's the heir. Correct? Pers hatlushim in a karka, yilochem in karka v'olcha pers. Same thing. Because we see him as a semi-husband. If he gives a chalitza, that means he doesn't inherit. That means it goes to who? Then it'll go to his family, right? It's enough. Hiniach ochiv mos. It was his husband. It was the husband's money, right? Rega. Rega. V'shekshubos al nechse bal. One second.
Right, so she doesn't inherit him, and his brother, his father.
A wife doesn't inherit her husband.
Right.
One second.
She gets two, but doesn't go to her after she not inherit her if she passes away. If she passes away,
No,
she passes away. Right, let's say she dies and then she dies. We talk about the inheritance.
There's a question about what happens at that point. Who
Tell me
died
the very
first?
simple case.
No, who dies first is the question. Who died first? If he dies first and she's alive, she has a lien. If she dies,
Oh, right.
there's nothing.
But if he dies when she dies, what happens to the fruit?
No, it's been like this. He did jibum. The husband left over money, did jibum. Let's say a husband himself has cash. He could spend the cash. What about the husband leaves, she's a widow. This cash over here is considered like lien to the ksuba. So therefore, we see it as her principal because she needs security for her ksuba. Now, when he does yibum, when he becomes her husband, the cash already is locked into ksuba. Therefore, what do you see? You have to secure that. You have to preserve that. So you buy property, so he eats the fruits of that property. That's what Rashi explained it. She has to be secure for the ksuba. So the cash itself. So he says, of course, we say metaltlin or mishtabed l'ksuba. Even though it's metaltlin, we're not talking about fixed property. It's mishtabed l'ksuba. So therefore, that money, when he died, she became a widow. That money immediately is locked into the ksuba. Now he marries her, so she's not paid out right away. She's not paid out because now she has the husband took over the marriage. But because that money was locked into the ksuba, that has to be preserved. Now, if he's going to spend it, how do you preserve it? The answer is you buy property, and all the new husband gets are the fruits, the profits. She keeps the principal. The principal is being preserved for the ksuba. To be continued. Okay.